Everyone, welcome to my catalog launch, which I'm streaming via YouTube today. So I'm just bear with me for a few seconds while I make sure that I can share this to my Facebook groups, and it's not something I normally do where I go live directly to YouTube. So just bear with me. And thank you, Cassidy, and Cassie's just checking for me that everything is fine. So I will just share this to my group. So those of you on Facebook, thank you. If you're on Facebook and can hop on as well. Just had some issues with Facebook today. It was transmitting fine. And then this afternoon, about a couple of hours ago, it decided to be difficult. And so here's the link for my catalog launch. I'm just typing away, won't be long. I appreciate you sticking by and stopping with me today, this afternoon. No matter what you're doing, I know it's a bit difficult at present. With lockdown, if you're in Melbourne or New South and other parts of the country, if you're around the world, I really appreciate you taking the time from your day to stop and share with me. So today, I have got some fun cards to share with you, showing you some products from our mini catalog launch, from our mini catalog and from the Sale-A-Bration catalog. So before I go ahead, let me introduce myself. My name is Rochelle, and I'm from Stamping Flair, and I share projects made with Stampin Up products. I'm an independent Stampin Up demonstrator in Melbourne. So if you currently don't have a demonstrator or would like to know more about what Stampin Up is, about paper crafting, anything like that, please contact me. I would love to assist you and be of service to you. Always here to help with any techniques or any other questions you may have. I will do my best to help you. I've also got a VIP group where I do some basic paper crafting techniques and beyond. It's called Paper Crafting Basics and Beyond. So I've got 4 projects to share with you. It does incorporate several different products. They are varying in levels of difficulty, I would say. Some are a bit more simpler, some are a bit stepped up, and of course you can always adapt the projects to what works best for you. If it's you find it a little bit simple or a little bit not involved enough for you, go ahead and step that up, add more technique and add more embellishments. And you can always step back a card, and that's easy enough to do. So according to time as well. Definitely share this with anyone you think might be interested. Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, and subscribe if you would like to receive notification of all my videos. Then any questions, please pop on the chat, and I will go through them and make sure I answer them, even though I may not get to them right now. But however, just please pop your questions up. So today I have got different different papers and different dies and some punches, and Sale-A-Bration, it runs until 30th of September. So if you don't know what Sale-A-Bration is, some of us may not have been stamping for too long, or maybe interested in just the paper crafting side of things and just developing an interest. So during this year, Stampin' Up have what they call Sale-A-Bration, and in the past years it's run for 3 months. This year they've had 2 lots where it runs for 2 months each. So this is our second lot, and Sale-A-Bration is basically you get a separate catalog, and I know this is backwards, so I'll switch this around. Me and technology. Okay, here we go. Okay, you'll see That's another way to do it. So I may have to just go in the background and you'll see me on and off, but for now this will work. All right, so my first project features one of the bundles, one of the suites that have, it's got 2 bundles in it. So you will find this on page 16 of your mini catalog. It's the Painted Christmas Suite, and you get 2 bundles, both stamps and dies. They go, what I feel, they coordinate together. So you need one and the other both to work together. I think that's what I feel, because these sentiments from this stamp set work with those labels, but those labels are fantastic, and I will show you a bit of both today. And I was explaining, with Sale-A-Bration, it's all free products in this catalog, so you cannot buy this any products in here. You just have, it's all free, and so you can earn them with any purchase over $90. You are eligible to get a free product. Some products are free with a $90 purchase, and some are free with a $180 purchase. But if you spend $90, you are guaranteed to get a free product. So that's without shipping. So we are going to be using this beautiful Bedazzling specialty paper. I will draw your attention to some products that are while stocks last. So once they're gone, they are gone. Bedazzling specialty paper is one of them. I think I'm using pretty much all the products in here. Oh no, I lied. I didn't do these 2 dies, but the sheep dies and the summer shadows dies, they are while supplies last. So that's things you want to get and that's what you like, I suggest you get that first up so you don't miss out. So I'm just gonna try and see what I can do with this screen, so because I can't get my face off it, so you're gonna have to deal with my face. Sometimes that's not too bad, not my face, but watching someone craft. So let me try and adjust that so you get a bit of a better view. Trying to increase that screen size for you so you can still see me a little bit, and I apologize for that. I've just had to work around that. So hopefully you can see what I am doing. I think it's a pretty decent view. So for my first project, I have got soft succulent card base. So it's just a A4 cut in half and then folded in half. I have got some of this beautiful shimmer vellum. You get them in all our in colors. So you've got it in pale papaya, polished pink, soft succulent, evening evergreen, and I'm missing one. Oh yeah, missing one. Okay, let me just take a look back. What have we got? Yeah, I think evening evergreen, pale. Oh, fresh freesia. That's the one I missed. Okay, so we've got that. Got a piece of the designer series paper, which is called the Painted Christmas. So it's got some lovely shades. I'm using this side, which is the soft sea foam side, and then I've got some scrap cardstock and a bit of white as well for some stamping. The bundles are these. So we are going to be using, I'm just using some leaves out of that. These are the dies which I'll be using. I'm going to be using that, and also some of the pine cones. So you get 2 of these, so it's really handy for cutting out. One missing in action. It'll be here. I do count everything. It could have slipped, but we'll work it out. Oh yeah, here it is. There we are. So those are what I'm using. So that's the Christmas Pinecone dies. This is a free set you can get with the starter kit. So this is my list of what you can get. You can select a free bundle with your starter kit. This is the list. The Christmas to Remember bundle, which is the most expensive, is $104. So a starter kit is normally $169, and you get to choose $235 of product. You will get to choose any of those bundles for free. So some are $55, some are $104. So a good variety of them there. So I will get you I've got a sample card. You would have had a glimpse of that. And this stamp set has some great sentiments, just a good mix of sentiments. So I'll start with my sentiment, I think, and do some stamping, and then we can do all our die cutting at the same go, right? So I'm just making sure this is all going through, because I am not watching it, and always worry that it's a different way of me transmitting my program today. So I'm using early espresso. And I will give myself some space around that. It's a really good dies here for good variety. I will have that I'm just making sure I gave enough space. I did. The next thing I'm going to be doing is stamping some leaves, and I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz for the leaves I want. And I'll just pick this one. Got a good variety of leaves between this and the, just bear with me while you'll see me moving around a bit because I've just got to get stuff from the side. Between this and the Forever Flourishing dies, you've got a lot of options for leaves just with those two sets. So I will stamp 3 leaves. I'm using Pear Pizzazz, okay? And yes, that's how that's stamped, just with that shaded look. Okay, get some washi tape just ready to die cut this. And I'll have it there. Do that ready, and we might as well get our sentiment ready as well. It's good to have crafting, isn't it? I was explaining to Adrian today. I said, so why would so many people crafting? I said it's like really therapeutic for people and for me as well. One person. Yeah, it's just very therapeutic. Gives you happiness. And I think during these periods of lockdown, we have really taken to doing that. I know for one. Sometimes your creativity just goes more when you're like that, or in lockdown, or just things to do. You just have more ideas. Haven't I have anyway. All right. Now, just bear with me. We're just going to move these down, and I'm just blocking with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I know it's a little bit hard to see. I can move that up a little. We'll die cut these out. This is not a hard card in that sense. It's just I've got a bit of die cutting. I know sometimes I pre-do this, but it's nice to have, it's a catalogue launch, and I wanted to show you how some of these dies and things work. Then we'll do the next one. I've just kept it simple by choosing one leaf for this card. You can mix and match, maybe mix some colors. That's what I was saying with stepping things up. And this is the last one of those leaves. Then we'll die cut that vellum. That vellum is beautiful. It's not an in-your-face kind of shimmer. It's just very subtle. And you can use the other side of the paper if you don't want the shimmer. And I have done that as well. So that's options for you. So it's still vellum. It's just not got the shimmer on the other side. So Alright, so we've got that. Now I'll bring in my vellum so you can see. So that's what I meant. If you don't want that shimmer, you can use the other side. Works just as well. Let's pick up the dies. I know it's probably very loud, isn't it, on the video. Okay, so I'm just placing that down there, and we'll have to, I'm going over this a few times because I want to make sure. Sometimes vellum can be a bit tricky to cut. It does take a little bit more, like run through the die cutting machine, because my feeling is because of the paper is like that really fine. It takes a little bit longer to come off the die. I need to get up and do this. Whoa, moved you there. Goodness, that was tricky. All right, I'm gonna run that again, and I'm gonna stand up for this time because it's a bit heavier to run through. Have a bit more muscle when I'm doing it like this, and I'll do it again. As I said, you can see that the vellum is a bit, you wouldn't expect it to be, but it is a little bit different to cardstock. Right, so we have got all our pieces ready, and let's get my Take a Pic tool to get all those bits out. Pretty much it all comes out, but I might be able to just get those slightly out. I'm gonna cut this in half anyway. See, that hasn't, oh yeah, it's cut. I thought it hadn't cut. There we go. So it is very fine. It's very delicate. So you can see the pine cones there. So that's another way you can layer them. I need to bring in my die cutting machine again. I forgot. Anyway. It's hard to differentiate which is past the leaves, and yeah. But definitely need to run it at least that amount of times. I could have done with one more pass probably. This will either irritate you or be cathartic for you, getting those bits and pieces out. these two extremes. All right, I think I'm right. I'm not going to hang on. You can hang on to that, but I'm not. You end up with lots of scraps. Do you let me just adjust that so you're not looking at my phone and everything else. I'm getting distracted. All right. So now we'll cut this in half. So I'm just doing a rough where that leaf ends. I just cut that in half. And I'm going to glue this directly on to this. I love this paper. It's very pretty, the soft sea foam. So just center it, that's there. And I will glue this with just a bit of glue, just dots of it. You can use a sponge and add your glue as well, that's another option. Double-sided adhesive sheets, that's the adhesive sheets I should say are there as well as another option. And I'm just going to glue this, one to the top half and one to the bottom half. And you do want some in that little corner, and I'll grab some off. Let me just work that out. That will sit like that. So there's no method here, just half and half, whatever looks good. And just hold it there for a second and it will glue. If you're still seeing some bits stick out, just go with glue. That's really pretty colour. I like that, how it shows up there. Now the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to stick that to the top half. And that, having a background like that, it's busy. So you don't need too much other than that. You want that, it's pretty and busy in a pretty way, you know. So you wanted to let it stand out. Like that. Okay, so that's pretty much done. And now we're going to do some stamping. I'm just going to get some grid paper so we can use that as our scrap. There we go. And we'll stamp on this, actually on the on your label. So we'll bring in these stamps again, and I'm gonna select, let me just, yeah, I'll go with that one. They're different. These die cut out as well. And I'm gonna stamp in soft sea foam, so to balance out against our background DSP. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, just you might like to do that. I will pop the link up later. I do put email a lot of information out, specials, my class information with links for registration, and sometimes tutorials and tips. So that might be something that you may like to be part of. I do a Facebook Live every Wednesday at 7:30. That's my regular Facebook Live, my Creative Escape. Now I'm just putting that down like that with dimensionals, stamping dimensionals. I just grateful giving you added depth. The next thing I will do, I'm going to die cut these little guys. And I'm using soft suede and cherry cobbler card. Oh, cherry cobbler. Did I just say cherry cobbler? Early espresso. It is not cherry cobbler. Definitely not cherry cobbler. I had been working with cherry cobbler before. Maybe that's on my brain. I've just got my, I'm probably going, where has she gone? She's gone to get a die cutting machine, which is on the floor next to her. So that's where I am. Okay, so there's an outer image and there's an inner. So it's like the outline. So I'm doing the outline in soft suede, and you can cut two at a time. So this is good. So outline in soft suede and the inner image in crumb cake. If you have any questions, please pop them up. I haven't been able to view any comments, but I will go back and check them. Definitely. If not, you can even pop them up on Facebook, wherever you are watching this from. So I'll always like to go back and look that over. So our Take Your Pick tool comes really handy for these little bitties. Christmas to Remember bundle is 104 something, 104.25 or something like that. But you can get that free during celebration. When you purchase the starter kit, you can select whatever one of those 11. You get a choice of 11 bundles, and you can choose one of those. And this definitely the best value in the catalog for you if you want to, no matter what your aim is or what you like, whether it's just crafting and you just want to get a discount on your craft supplies, you get 20% on all your purchases. So that is while you're active, and so it's a no risk starter kit. Just getting great value. And if you do want to run it as a business, you can, but you can just add all you can do is buy to the minimums, but the minimums aren't due till you get 3 months for that. So you can just buy with yourselves, because I know a lot of people like to just buy for yourselves, and we all do. And already you're probably spending that much anyway, so something to think about. You can also host parties and get some free product that way. This one's a little bit out, but I will just cover that up. I'm going to put my dies away before I lose them. So this one has heaps of different pieces as well. It's kind of a tandem set, as I said before. All right. So now to assemble this, I've got my 2 little pine cones and my leaves, which we stamped earlier. Let's put one there, one dimensional on that, and one on that. And we can, I think that shimmer adds a real Christmassy, sweet feel to that. And I've got some fun ideas for that vellum as well. It doesn't have to be all. It doesn't have the full glitter look, so that way it's good. We will do mini dimensionals on this. It's always good to do that background stamping. It gives fullness to that bouquet of leaves, and adds interest in the background as well. Then with the other leaf, I'm gonna put that under here. About to sneeze. I think the hay fever has started already in preparation for spring. Alright, so we've got that, our leaves done. And we'll just tuck that in there. And I have tucked it in under that label, so it adds a different dimension to that little arrangement there. Next, I have got some ribbon, and it's this beautiful diamond weave ribbon, and it looks really pretty. I think it adds extra softness to this card. Just gonna make sure I'll watch myself on YouTube and see what's happening. Okay, yeah, sorry about the vision there. But it's okay. I think you can see what I'm up to reasonably. Yeah, nothing's a guarantee, not even Facebook. It's the worst. Then it sends me into a panic. What am I to do? I had already rescheduled this, and due to some personal medical issues and appointments and things like that, so that not again. Okay, so you can add, this is an option, you can add perhaps some gold embellishments, but I think I wanted that rustic feel, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Maybe some even as I'm speaking to you, I'm thinking, maybe how about some little diamonds or pearls. Pearls might be a bit what you would say, it's traditional. That might work nicely. Some little pearls there might go. Let's try. We always like some bling if we can. You could color these in soft sea foam using a soft sea foam blends. So that would be nice. as well. I'm going to move that other large one. It's too much in line with the other one. Don't like it. Let's see what I can. There goes Cassidy sneezing. There. I think that's nice. Yeah, the pearls do add a nice touch to that. So that's our first card. It's got the Christmas to Remember bundle, and also it's got it's called the Christmas season bundle. So mixed and match products there. The diamond weave ribbon, which is new in our catalogue, and some of that beautiful vellum. So look at mixing and matching with products from our annual catalogue to work in with your projects for Christmas. We've got some pretty things there, so it's worth having a look. Our next card, I'm going completely different. We're going with our little penguin. So a complete different look for you. And I'm taking my time doing this because then we won't have too much going on in front of us. Got to do this. When I'm doing one card, it's not so bad, but when I've got to have several, it's good to get the cleaning done straight away so I don't get mixed up. I'll go back and clean them properly, but for now, just so I can tuck them away. We'll save that there. All right, let me get my next lot of stuff from my bag of tricks. We've got the Penguin Builder Punch. I'm sure you've seen a lot of projects done with that. It's a bit of a cute one, and this is the bundle. Now, adjust that. Oh no, that didn't do anything. The bundle is another free product you can get. The value of that bundle is $54.75 if you want to purchase it. Remember, if you add anything up to $90, you're going to get a free product. That's if you don't buy the starter kit and you just want to buy product. As demonstrators, we do get that free product range as well, the $90 Sale-A-Bration range. So it's not like you're going to miss out if you join and get the starter kit. So I've got a few little bits and things here. The colors I'm going to use are Calypso Coral, Fresh Freesia, and Balmy Blue. Got another little, no, that's for my other card. I didn't use that on this one. And I'm going to use some of that bedazzling paper. That's really pretty. So something you may like to get your hands on. Okay, lots of little bits. I haven't used Balmy Blue in a while. I was mad for the Balmy Blue for a while, and then I kind of just didn't use it, and it worked with this card. So it's nice. This is that bedazzling paper. You might be able to see that nice shimmer. Very pretty. It has a texture, so it's not a smooth finish. It does have texture on it. I have got a piece of this designer series paper, the Penguin Place designer series paper, or Playful Penguins it's called. You get this for free with a $90 purchase. So if you buy the Penguin bundle, you can and make your order up to $90, you can get that paper for free. So it's really fun paper. So I picked up the colors using that paper. I think I need Just Jade as well, but we'll pick that up in a minute. I do have Just Jade somewhere, but we can change change it up. I've got this Textures and Frames stamp set, and this is a free product as well during Sale-A-Bration. Great for adding some background images and things. And what I'm going to use is that little image there on this card. I'll be using another stamp set on another card I'm going to do. So I've got to leave them aside so I don't lose it all. And we'll bring in Balmy Blue. I'm going to stamp that background. So I've just very random. You could use your piercing mat under. I'm not, because it's not one of those images that has to be exact. If it was, then I would definitely encourage you to use that piercing mat. Is that a nice background? It's fun, isn't it? I think it's fun. Alright. Now I will bring in my piercing mat, which is here. Kept it safe because I want to stamp my penguin. For the penguin, I've got Tuxedo Black. I'll just move my Big Shot. Not my Big Shot, it's called Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine. And I'll bring Tuxedo Black in to stamp my little penguin. Lots of fun little images there you can dress him up in. So it's got a beanie and a scarf and little reindeer antlers, and got gifts and a tree, a little bow tie, and I think that's really cute too. So ink it up really well. Then we'll take our Calypso Coral. I'm gonna stamp its little nose or beak, not nose, beak, and its little feet. They're tiny images, so just be careful when you do take them out. They don't slip and it's easy to lose. So these I'm just stamping in Calypso Coral. Can I fix that up? You reckon? No. Let me restamp him. I think the paper was damaged. Turn it around. We'll stamp the beak. And that was upside down. It's not wanting to pick up. Let me clear that up. They are tiny images, aren't they? Here we go. That's better. And it just gives character once you put that beak on. So we'll bring in our punch, and with the punch it closes for locking and you just release it. It'll open. No, I have stamped that in the wrong place, so or maybe I will do it this way and we'll get that out first. And now we can do that without losing the legs. Gonna put all these ink pads away because I don't need it at present. Next thing is, oh, how's that? That's not too bad. The wrong side was okay too. It's funny how it works sometimes, isn't it? Give these guys a clean. We're going to stamp a present and we'll stamp a little beanie. And we'll fussy cut. Now, they're not too bad to fussy cut, so don't fret, but you don't have to do that. Put that back. So I've got a beanie. I need my tree. And a present, which is right here. So I'm putting aside my penguin for the moment and we'll stamp these up. So I'm using Just Shade, so it coordinates with your paper pretty much. And fresh freesia for the gift and the beanie. Got a few colours going on. The present's easy enough, it's just straight lines. I fussy cut a beanie and before, and I lost it. I don't know, they're so tiny, these images, very easy to lose. Well, for me anyway. I reckon it gets stuck to my clothes or something. And it's gone. When cutting your circular images, just turn your paper, then it gives you a smoother line. And the tree, it is a bit more involved to cut it, but it's not hard. Just do some chatting, listening to music. I've been listening to lots of training and motivational talks, and it's good to have that. If you don't get it 100%, it's okay. I always say with fussy cutting, it's okay. I just find it easier to go like that. think fussy cutting is not too bad for me. I enjoy it because I used to do paper towel, and there's a lot of scalpel work in there, just cutting. So that's probably why I'm a bit okay with fussy cutting. So now we're going to glue this down here, and how does that look? Now, if you want, I'm just going to cut that down a bit. If you want to save some of this glimmer, you can cut out shapes from the inside. That's up to you. Personally, I don't do that. I just find that when it's when you lay it on, that it doesn't sit as well once you do that cutting out in the middle, and that's so my preference is to have it like that. That's what I'll just have it sitting there in its entirety. Same with cardstock, but you can do that. Let's put a shape in there, for instance, and it will work. Just give it a bit of a press. We'll glue this cute paper on. It's just fun, isn't it? I think this paper. And I've just picked up on the little blue in there, the balmy blue in there. That's why I've gone with that paper. Sorry, I just moved it off camera just to get that a little bit straight. Now we'll just glue that directly. It just adds a bit of sparkle, Christmas sparkle to this project when you have that paper. I chose that stamp set, the stamp from that stamp set, because it's this one, Textures and Frames, because I felt it looked like snowballs, like when you throw snowballs. That's what that's what I thought anyway. All right, next thing we will do, so I did have a bit of scrap white, and I still do. Lots of little stamps to clean up, huh? I did forget one little tip thing that I'm going to try and fix it. Because I had a little, oops, sorry. Yeah, it'll come out. Yeah, and that's going to get hidden anyway, so even if it tears, I'm not fast. I want to put some ribbon under there, so watch me try and fix this. Damage control. So this is this is from the Peaceful, I think it's called Peaceful Cabin or Peaceful Place Suite or something. It's white organdy ribbon. I'm gonna color some of it to match my project. So this might be a little bit too much, but just to make it easier. So I'm using Balmy Blue Stamping Blends, and I'll use the wider tip, but just be gentle with it, and it'll give you that nice tinge of blue to match. Because the white looked a bit washed out, and I see that. Can you see the difference? It's subtle, and you can go over it again and it'll give you more color. So I'm just using very little, you can tell. It's got that iridescent look, not so extra sparkle. Alright, so that was the balmy blue stamping blend. You can do both sides, but I think because it's of organdy ribbon, it's okay, it goes through. That I don't like that bow. I'm gonna redo it. Just trim that off, and with the rest I'm just going to stick that under this piece, which I shouldn't have stuck on. I forgot a step. Just add something extra. I'm sure we've all done something like this. Sorry you can't see it, but I'm just adding that double-sided tape there. That's all I've done. And I will tuck that ribbon underneath. And then I'll just add my glue. Good, isn't it? Right. Now we'll bring our little penguin. Get rid of my colours. That is the wrong side of him. I'll glue him there. With these little feet, I'm just going to add it with the glue dot. Glue dots are pretty sticky. There we go. Then we have the little beanie, which I'll use a mini dimensional, so it can sit flush. And we'll just have it like that. Next we want to add our Christmas tree. They're just little touches, but they add to this little scene we are creating. and our gift. Now for the sentiment, I'll clean off this and we'll just use the season's greeting sentiment. There's quite a lot of options with the sentiment. It's got a happy birthday as well, season's greetings, lots of thanks, covers different occasions. I like you a lot, which is then that can go on the inside, to the coolest friend ever. So a few different options there for occasions. So the sentiments do cover that. Always good to see the extra things you can do with the stamp set, isn't it? Sentiment. We'll put all these away. Tree. Then we'll pick up our season's greetings. I'll stamp it in black, I think. Put that there so we don't forget our little ball. This is just some scrap cardstock. I will bring in some post-it notes. And the reason being is we want to cut that banner out of it, but the sentiment is a little bit too small. So I'm going to just cut a small strip from this. What do you, oh yeah. And I want the banner, if you were inserting it this way and you want the banner in this way, it wouldn't be an issue. But because I could have stamped it towards this side, so let me do that and we'll see. That'll work better. I don't know why my brain wasn't working that time. As I'm talking, I go, oh, you can do it this way. There we go. You may not need the tape, not tape, post-it note. I was going to say stick that like that and put it in, but you won't need it for this one. Let's work it out. So this is the banner speaker punch. I'm going to cut that a little bit more. And the reason I do it upside down is so you can see where they're getting close to the sentiment. Not done it really straight. Okay, that's that. Then I've got a piece of fresh freesia. And I didn't need my post-it notes after all. And I'm doing the same. So it'll layer. So you're going to have... What I'll do is trim that, stick that down and cut it around. So that was, I think I had it at a 3/4 inch and a 1 inch. So you get three sizes in that banner, but you can use any sizes within, it works. You just look where you're cutting it. Put some dimensionals. the way. We didn't need to do that. So I'm just attaching that there with dimensionals. So you balance out your colors, adding some fresh freesia. And our ribbon. And I think it needs this blue gems. They would go really well. These carried over from last year. That's a bling on our Christmassy card. Just makes you happy, that penguin. What do you think? Giving you some different ideas and I guess different colors today as well, so you're not getting all cute, same sort of cutie projects as this penguin. My next one's going to be a little bit more subdued. Still using brand new product, and I've got something with our celebration products. So the textures and frames is a freebie. So it says celebration there. So lots of fun options with that particular set. Hope you've liked that. I enjoyed creating that. Just love the fun look of it. So give me 1 sec while I clear this up to get ready for our next one. This catalog launch was a little bit different to any others I've had, because I thought I'll focus on certain products as I go along so you can see what you can do with it. And that's why I had 2 sessions. Just was easier. There's a lot of product in that catalog, and it's can get tricky to cover everything in one hit when you're not in person. Okay, so next one is the Feels Like Home stamp set from the Celebration catalog. Cute little set. And I'll show it to you in this catalog. Here you go, that's that one. And you can color the image in, and lots of fun things you can do with that, different layouts. So something for you to look at. If you haven't got a catalog, please contact me and I will send one out to you. If you haven't got anyone who provides that for you, I can do that. And if you live in Australia, of course. So you're probably thinking Rochelle hasn't done one of her neutral cards. Well, here it is. There we go. Neutral base, crown cake. And we've got petal pink in there. That's my color combination for that. And I've even got my bling all ready to go with this one. And we only need 2 ink colors I've got. Is crumb cake and petal pink. And we're going to do some heat embossing as well. So minimal heat embossing. You can work around that actually if that's something you're uncomfortable with and you're just beginning. Take the simple. I will show you what you can do just to keep it simple. This is a little bit stepped up, this card. I'm going to use that main image. then you do need the larger block for that. So I've got a crumb cake base. Excuse me. I'll bring in my bond folder, give it a good burnish. Always use the bond folder, make it easier. Then a petal pink background. I've also got some of this pretty paper, which is it's from the Sale-A-Bration catalogue. It goes with the hand penned paper. It's called Beautifully Penned. So it's all black and white, and it marries up with that other paper from our annual catalogue. So definitely, so if you like that paper, but this is in black and white, so you're getting a bit of different variety for that. All right. So my next thing is, let me just, the stamps that I'm going to use is this as well. Oh, sorry, is the textures and frames again. I'm going to be using this image from it. You'll see it really adds to projects with your backgrounds. So we'll bring in our mat, our card mat, and I'm going to create a little bit of a background using this textures and frames stamp set. So I'll start off the page. I think I'll find it easier to just hit it like this. So it's just going in a line, but I'm not, if you want accuracy, you can use the Stamparatus, but I haven't. Leave that aside. We'll bring in a piece of white cardstock, and I am going to stamp this image in petal pink. It's a beautiful image to color. Watercoloring would work. I haven't tried it yet, but it just lends itself to watercoloring, stamping blends, pastels, you name it, you can do it. I think that's the bigger piece. I need the smaller piece. Yep. So this is just cardstock I've just cut on my trimmer, so no die cutting as such for most of it. That's a bit wonky. We'll flip it over. We can't have a house on. It's a bit crooked. I have a feeling this might be too. Oh no, that's pretty good. Okay. Then I have got a mat for this, which will glue. Lots of gluing and just it's simple stamping. This part, I've just got a few layers, which you can minimize. You don't have to have so many layers. That's just a me thing. I like my layers. Why am I doing that? Getting rid of the kinks. When you turn the cardstock over, the opposite side to what you cut on has a bit of a lip. Using your bond folder will get rid of those little lips on that. Now, then I'll glue this onto my white. Now I've got that ribbon, which is a carryover ribbon from I think last catalogue. I want it to just sit under this. So I will add some tear and tape. And you'll see how just adding a little bit of detail here and there can step up a card. I have not barely used die cutting or anything on this card. It's just trimmer work. And then I will place that like that, and I want it like that. So release it so it's not tight. And then we'll trim that down on the other side. So that layer is ready. Next thing I will do, I had a bit of crumb cake here. Still getting rid of stuff from the Pinecone card. Okay. The Label Me Lovely punch. I only want partial cut of that, so I've got a bit of scrap. Just gonna punch out that from crumb cake. No, that's not. I didn't use crumb cake, and I'm just thinking, no, that's not what I did. So just please disregard it. You can use crumb cake, but don't. I'm going to teach you something. Well, I might not be teaching anything. You might already know it, but I'm just giving you a bit of a tip. So we're using basic white. I've got my blending brushes, and we're going to use Petal Pink firstly, and a mask, one of the new masks from the annual catalogue. It is under that gingerbread, not from the annual, from the mini catalogue. It's in the gingerbread suite. It is these ones, and it's called Decorative Masks. The Adorning Designs Decorative Masks, so that's what it's called. I'm going to bring in my blending brush and Petal Pink. And when you lay this, I didn't do it like that. I just went on a bit of an angle. And doing this to your little details that add interest to these add-ons in your card. It's not much, but it's just a bit of something different, and it does add some interest. It's because you want different things to sit out in this card, and you'll see it's very simple what I've done, but when you put it all together, now I've got glue all over me because I had tissue on the glue on the tissue, and then I rubbed my hands on the one with the glue because that was smart. All right, so now bring in crumb cake, and I'm just going to do a light blending over that. Now I could have used the crumb cake, but then the Petal Pink masking wouldn't have stood out as much. So you can do a bit of an ombre or whatever you want there. Let's start on some assembly. Petal Pink's another color I haven't used in ages. So I went like specifically looking for colors I had not used to show them a little love. Have you got colors you don't use much? Not that it's a weird color, it's just I haven't used it much. Then I will take this little piece. It's going to sit under my other piece, but I'm just going to glue it in. And we'll use some dimensionals on this. You can see how this is coming together. What I have done is, prior to coming on, I die cut one of these, and this is from the pen flowers, so it works in with that paper, and that particular scalloped edge cuts that out. So I want to create that border, and I might move that there. So a little bit of glue. You could use double-sided tape or seal, whichever one you like. And trim that down. So how simple was this to, you didn't even have to color it in, but it's giving you a nice look. I have got a bit of a mark on that, but I'm not gonna, just for fear of damaging that. Right, not too bad. Next, we're going to do some heat embossing with white embossing powder. Now, the embossing powders come in packs of 3. So you've got your basic colors and your metallic colors. So the metallic is silver, gold, copper. Your basics are your clear black and white. So that's how they are sold now. Let me get my embossing ready. And I'm going to do it on black cardstock. Make sure that's white. That's white. The sentiment I will use is missing you, because I'm missing everyone. I'm missing all my team, my craft ladies who come for classes. We were meant to have a Christmas in July today because we had it postponed, but that it didn't eventuate. So I'm missing everyone. So this is for all of you guys who I can't meet in person at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to have to turn the heat gun on, and it will make a little bit of a racket. So just bear with me while I get it. Because I set it aside. And I'll put this away so we don't have melted embossing powder just around it. I'm heating it for a few seconds, so then you can just emboss quickly. And I will be die cutting this with the Tasteful Labels dies, which has a little circle on it. So once that becomes shiny, it's the embossing powder is set. Let me just get, did I pull out the dies? I have them in baskets far out. We can, oh no, I had layering circles, that's right, I forgot about that. I thought it was the Tasteful Labels, no, it was the layering circles. But, I put it somewhere safe. No, it's here. Here it is. It is in the basket where I put it. I just forgot which dies I was using. But just because you've got so many options, you can use, I'm using the little one, right? And just die cut that. Okay, bring in my little one, mini embossing one. Mini stamping cut and emboss machine. It's definitely so much easier to manage for a live when you have the little one. So I've just scratched the surface with our free products today. I haven't used them all, but you get a bit of an idea. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and stay with me. Spend a Saturday afternoon crafting. So then I'll put one dimensional there. And we'll stick that in the middle. So it really lifts when you put it on black, the embossing. And we'll tie a bow. Oh, you can hear the birds singing. Sorry, Beryl, I've just, no scarf on my penguin. Well, maybe I have to put a scarf on my penguin as well. Sorry, I've just seen your chat. Sorry, Beryl. Is that you? Are you in 7-day lockdown? Yeah, the birds. It was funny. I was working from home yesterday, and I called one of my workmates, the IT, because of course I had computer problems, and and he goes, "Can I hear the birds sing in the background?" Yes, we're in the country. Everything's quiet. I said, "Oh, is it that obvious?" He goes, "Yeah, because When I call other people, you normally just hear dogs and things like that. Okay. Maybe I'll have to add a scarf to the penguin and put up the photo. He looks a bit naked without a scarf. Maybe it's a bit cold. And a little bow to finish off and match off our ribbon at the bottom. It's like a little skirt hanging off there. And there's our little card using the Feels Like Home stamp set. What do you think? New South. Yeah. I'm in Vic, and yeah, but lockdown has been extended as well. Beryl. Yeah. We were supposed to finish Thursday night, and yeah, we've on until next Thursday. It's great that you have you've been able to catch me today without like any issues with the internet. I feel for you because I know what it's like. We have some dramas. Now, one more thing I have to do is put some of my favorite, these dots, these matte black dots. I think it will go superb here. I am going to do it in a bit of a different configuration to what I would normally do. Oh man. He's not wanting to stick. I'll keep him aside for now. Try the next one. Alright, so I'm putting a larger one in the center, and then a smaller one, and we'll put a smaller one there. Okay. Do you like that one? Is it one of the stamp sets that you were drawn to when you first saw that Sale-A-Bration catalogue? It's just two colors there and with a bit of black, and it just lifts it up, I think. So, feels like home stamp set. And I think just adding details like your sponging and things like that just picks it up, even though the stamping is simple. So card number 3, and we're on to our last one. This one's got a little bit of a different bit more involved, I would say, only because it's not the design as such. It's just got a little bit of stamping blend coloring in it. It's the Happy Holidays stamp set. Now it does come with a punch, which, no, not that one, which I'm not using today. No, it's not that one either. It's the, I've got it somewhere. It's got the holly border. Here we are. Third time lucky. It's the holly border. So that's a bundle, but I'm only using the stamp set today. If you buy the bundle, you will save 10% rather than buying them individually. Need a bling on this one too. We've got. So this is the Peaceful Prints Designer Series paper, which is a free Sale-A-Bration product. It is got the deers, deer. So it matches with that set, And if you get the Deer Punch bundle, I would say get that paper as well, because it's excuse me while I stretch across. It's worth it. It's just nice to have that paper which matches it. Got Tuxedo Black ink, and I've got this beautiful bird which we're going to fussy cut. Don't know whether you caught my project I did the other day with this, and it was the sepia watercoloring technique. It comes up a treat with that vintage look, but it's just a nice looking bird. I like it. Nice and bright. And we will stamp the holly here as well while I'm at it, and get all our stamping out of the way. So this is a piece of cardstock. I'm not going to fussy cut this holly, but we're just stamping the background. And the sentiment is I'm going to use Noel. Let's see whether I don't think that's ink, I think, so I'm just flipping that around. That's a good thing, don't stick it, and if you don't stick it, you have a bit of a chance. And I just turn this stamp around so you're getting different looks of that. Oh, I've got another one there. I have 2 tuxedos. If you're buying a starter kit, and if you're a beginner stamper, I always recommend definitely getting a black ink. That's a good, maybe a trimmer if you haven't got anything like that, some paper snips. And then go with colors that you really like. So if you're into the bright colors, get our Brights range. If you are into subtles, like if it was me, my go-to would be the subtles colors to start with, or neutrals, but I think for starting the subtles would be nice. It just gives you or a color range, so you have your green and some colors for flowers and things like that. That's just a suggestion. And then you will have also maybe buy 3 colors, buy black or a gray. And definitely then add on a punch bundle, because they're like $55, so you get to choose $235 of products. So, and then you get your free one on top of that. So a few options. If you want any suggestions, like please feel free to contact me and I will help you with that. Of course, if you are a more advanced stamper, you will change, your options would change. I'm using some stamping blends to color these images. Mint macaron for the leaves. So I'll start with the lighter color. Giving a quick color with the brush tip, and then I will go to the edges using my fine tip. I think my this lighter one might be a bit pale. It might be running out of ink, but it is working at the moment. I've used it for years, so, and I do a lot of colouring. and classes, so they'll last a fair while.
She dropped it in that water bottle.
Kitten tails. Cassie's got kitten tails. They're cute and naughty and funny. We've got 2 sisters. And there'll be one in September. Alright, so that's just mint macaron I've used for that. The berries, I will use cherry cobbler. That was tight to open before as well. And you can add shading with the darker one, but I kept it fairly simple for the background because our bird is going to have quite a bit of detail on it with our colouring. You can always go back and add some more. Alright, for this I am using cherry cobbler, so saffron, excuse me, and crumb cake. What I would start with is probably at the tips. So it's a little bit of a different technique because it's the bird and it's got more straight strokes, you would say, when you're colouring. Normally I'd go in a circular motion on larger areas, but this is a little bit different because I want to give that look of feathers. I'm going with the dark saffron. So you can see I'm like flicking it pretty much. So you don't have to be an artist to do this stuff. You've got your image which has all the details, so I'm just following the lines. And yes, the different colors do blend. I'm using the brush tip of the lighter one very faintly, and it gives a light. You can get some nice color in there. Now I'll bring in light crumb cake, and I'm running it through, and we'll go around the eye. And we'll blend that color in. Now this is just my imagination, how I would think it's going to be. It might be a very unrealistic bird, but alright. Now I'll bring the light cherry cobbler, and this is where it can get a bit darker. Cherry cobbler doesn't want to be used today. So I'm going in. Just dragging some of that color in. And I will be using the brush tip a little bit, but not much. Back with, I'm toing and froing with my colors. It's the soy saffron it felt a bit like daffodil delight, but it's not. That's the way I checked it. Not that it matters. But I'm going over that cherry cobbler because then it blends in that color. As I said, this is purely my little coloring. It is not necessarily correct, but it's what I do. Now my brush tip is gone on this cherry cobbler, but I will use it. It's kind of working for this particular technique. Back to my fine tip. And now I'm just doing a bit of the circular motions just to get that in. We'll bring in some of this dark crumb cake. And I do go over that just so it's not a stark look. And our blends are awesome. They're easy to use because you just got the 2 shades in each color, dark and light. You're not messing around. It's got names, so you go, okay, that's cherry cobbler and it matches with our ink. So it's very easy. I am not an artist. It's just I hadn't used blends really till I bought another brand and I like secondhand. And I never really played with it because it was too much of a complicated system. And that's what I like with this, is the simplicity. Who likes coloring in? All right, I'll set that now. The alcohol markers or stamping blends, they will change color a little or go in depth as it dries up. So you can hold off and work on an area, move on to the next area. That's probably the best way to do it. And I will go in and just you see how that's just come together as I've just done some of that easy coloring. Simple. It's just those lines, more so to speak. All right, I think our bird's pretty done, and we'll just color its little feet. You can always use your color lifter if you feel like, oh, I've got too much color in that area. That works fine. And I'm going to fussy cut this. Oh, thanks, Beryl. Wow, that sounds exciting. Going to a live brass band show. That'll be nice. Enjoy your night. And thanks for watching. And I think, yes, you're right. With Facebook, it is temperamental. So that's probably why we do have difficulty with it. Now, when you're doing this nice area with this, the body where you want that nice circular look, just move your paper with your scissors. So then it's going to give you a nice clean cut So instead of choppy and ragged edges. And you can always come back and watch this. So that was probably the most time consuming and you would say difficult part of that, the colouring. So I've got my cardstock there. I've got a piece of mint macaron. Stick this down. You could use either side. Now I'll put some dimensionals on this. And a larger piece of cardstock, I'm using a few more. Oh, do you see what I just did? I did it upside down. Oh well, let's see what happens. We can do that. It's a miracle. I did this the other day. I did it back to front or something. There we are. Thank you. It's sticky. Now I have cut a frame, a circle frame from the bedazzling paper. The way you do frames is in a layering circles dies, you get obviously different sizes. Have one size, so if you have 3 sizes, take that third one and the first one. So then you'll get a bit of a thicker frame. If you take the first 2, you'll have a very smaller frame. So I've just, a finer frame. So I've used the thicker one. Having a gap between, one size in between. If you want yet a thicker one, you can always use, take 2 sizes down. Next I've got a piece, this is another piece of that same designer series paper, and I'm going to glue that there. Now that's garden green, and it just lifts that a bit. And I'll bring in my mint macaron ribbon. It's like a suede look to it. It's easier to get the top of these off when you really glue it nicely. Sometimes it's a little bit trickier than others. Alright, so I do want it somewhere there. And so it matches up with the rest of my card. Fix that up. we can stick the bird down there. And then I'll use some mini dimensionals along its tail. And they do vary slightly in height, the mini and the larger, but I don't think it matters in this instance. And that's your fourth card with the Happy Holidays not the bundle, the stamp set, but I would say get the bundle so you save yourself 10% when you get it together. Let me bring in all the cards I have made. Today we've run a wide variety. So this was our first card. And that involved like some of the free bundles you can get with a starter kit. Definitely ask me any questions you may have about that. It's you don't have to hold classes or sell anything if you don't want to, so you can just join to enjoy the perks of the discount. This is another free bundle, and we had that beautiful glimmer paper which you can earn free during Sale-A-Bration. If you get the starter kit and your next order, you can add that glimmer paper or whatever in any free Sale-A-Bration products. We get the same thing, whether when you're a demonstrator, you get the horse rewards, you get the any promotions, anything like that, so you don't miss out. We've got that on Balmy Blue, and I coloured that ribbon with Balmy Blue stamping blend. I think this is Coming Home stamp set, if I remember correctly. Might have got the name wrong. And then the textured stamp set. And some heat embossing and a bit of technique on that, but all in all, just simple card there. Just lots of layering, and I used that new the DSP. So that's a free product, that's a free product, and that's a free product. 3 Sale-A-Bration items on that. Then our final one is this Holly Berry one, which we just did. And that circle is using the Bedazzling glimmer paper, and that is limited stock. So once it's out. And you can see you get quite a bit in that pack. Let me tell you how many sheets you get in that. It's quite a lot. The birds. So you get 8 sheets. It's 6 by 6, but you can make it stretch, and there's you get a lot. So that's our cards today. Appreciate you stopping by and taking the time to watch with me. It kind of worked out with the screen like this. I think I like it because then you can, I guess, interact with me, and I'm not sitting behind where you can't see me and talking to myself. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch with me, and please hit subscribe so you can get notification when I put up all my videos, and I'll be sharing more to do with my classes as well, and showing you some sneak peeks of my cards there. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and have a great night, whatever you are doing, and a great rest of the weekend. Take care. See you. Bye.